Stuka, the dive bomber that struck terror in World War II. The Junkers Ju-87, commonly known as the Stuka, stands as one of the most iconic and feared dive bombers of World War II. Its distinctive inverted gull wings and siren-equipped airframes struck terror into the hearts of enemy soldiers and civilians alike. This history of the Ju-87 Stuka traces its origins, evolution, operational use, and impact on the course of the war. Origins and development. The story of the Ju-87 Stuka began in the early 1930s, when the German Reichswehr started to explore the concept of dive bombing as an effective tactical tool. The designer behind the Stuka, Hermann Pohlmann, drew inspiration from earlier designs, particularly the World War I Junkers J-1. This experimentation culminated in the Junkers Ju-87, the first prototype of which took flight in 1935. The Stuka's unique design featured an inverted gull wing, which allowed for both better ground clearance for the large propeller and enhanced accuracy during steep dives. The aircraft was powered by a Junkers Jumo 210 engine, and its distinctive teardrop canopy gave the rear gunner a wide field of view. Moreover, the Stuka was equipped with the infamous Jericho Trumpet sirens, which emitted a terrifying wailing sound during dives, further unnerving the enemy. The Spanish Civil War. The Ju-87 Stuka had its baptism of fire during the Spanish Civil War, 1936 to 1939, where German forces supporting General Francisco Franco deployed it in combat. Its performance in Spain was mixed, with lessons learned and improvements made for the coming conflict in Europe. World War II. With the outbreak of World War II in September 1939, the Ju-87 Stuka became an integral part of the German Luftwaffe's Blitzkrieg strategy. Its accuracy, firepower, and psychological impact made it a key asset in the early war campaigns. The invasion of Poland, 1939. During the invasion of Poland, the Stuka played a pivotal role in supporting ground forces. Its ability to deliver precise strikes against enemy tanks, artillery, and fortifications made it a lethal weapon. The Stuka's psychological warfare effect was evident as Polish troops would often panic at the sound of the sirens. The Battle of France, 1940. The Stuka continued to prove its worth during the swift conquest of France. It struck fear into French and British troops and was instrumental in disrupting their defenses. The Battle of Britain, 1940. The Stuka's vulnerability became apparent during the Battle of Britain. Its slow speed and lack of agility made it easy prey for the more nimble British fighters. As a result, the Stuka's losses were substantial, and its role in the Battle of Britain diminished. The Eastern Front, 1941 to 1945. The Eastern Front saw the Stuka return to prominence, as its slower pace was less of a disadvantage against Soviet aircraft. It was used extensively in the early stages of Operation Barbarossa, where it supported the German army's advances. However, its effectiveness waned as the war progressed, and Soviet air defenses improved. The Mediterranean and North African campaigns, the Stuka was also deployed in the Mediterranean and North African theaters, where it was used against British and Commonwealth forces. It contributed to the German successes in North Africa, but suffered losses due to the Allied air superiority, the Balkans, and the Battle of Crete. In the Balkans campaign and the Battle of Crete, the Stuka proved effective in attacking fortified positions and disrupting enemy communications and troop movements. Variants and modifications. The Ju-87 Stuka went through several variants and modifications during its service. Notable variants include the Ju-87B, Ju-87R, and Ju-87D, each designed for specific operational needs. The Ju-87G was particularly feared for its anti-tank capabilities, with a 37mm BK 3.7 cannon attached under the fuselage. Decline and legacy. As the war progressed, the Stuka's vulnerability to enemy fighters became increasingly apparent. Its relatively slow speed and limited maneuverability made it an easy target for Allied aircraft. However, it maintained a presence on the Eastern Front until the end of the war and was occasionally used in other theaters. The Ju-87 Stuka's legacy extends beyond its combat performance. Its psychological impact on the battlefield is immeasurable. The wailing sirens became a symbol of terror for those on the receiving end of its attacks, and it played a crucial role in the early Blitzkrieg successes of the German military. Conclusion: the Junkers Ju-87 Stuka dive bomber holds a unique place in the history of military aviation. Its menacing appearance, distinctive sirens, and potent precision strikes made it an emblematic instrument of German warfare during the early years of World War II. While its vulnerability to enemy fighters ultimately limited its operational use, the Stuka's legacy endures as a symbol of terror and destruction.